We're still monitoring what's going on at baseball's winter meetings. We're trying to figure out if the Astros, one, are going to bring back Alex Bregman, and two, if they might be about to do something that some would consider closing their window. Here's what's happened in the last 24 hours. First, you had Dana Brown yesterday at the winter meetings saying this: overall, I think it's been a day of progress. But then when he was asked if the Astros have made another offer to Alex Bregman, he didn't answer the question. Thanks, Dana. Although I suppose he's being honest with us for a change. He'd also discussed flexibility. No, not how limber he is. Not if Pilates are paying off for him, or like they were for Jose Abreu. P.S. They didn't. Quote, I think we're flexible. There's a range, right, that you always think about. So I think there is flexibility within the range. I don't know what that means. I would hope that it means that the Astros are at least willing to consider offering Alex Bregman something along the lines of what the Giants gave to Willie Adames, which is basically one extra year for that 5-year, that's 5-year, $165 million deal that the Astros offered Alex Bregman. Maybe offer an extra year, see what it gets you. Brown said this too. For us, I think we pretty much set our minds on what we think the guy is worth and what we're willing to give a guy and what it means to the organization and how that affects our payroll and different things like that. So I don't like to look at what other teams may consider is our market or the player's market. I sort of say to ourselves, look, this is where we feel he should be. This is what we think he's worth. And then we try to get the guy signed. Well, I mean, if you're just standing pat, you're not really trying to get the guy signed. But that is what the Astros are saying about Dana Brown. We also got this from Scott Boras, noted dad joke enthusiast, said Boras, quote, when it comes to conversations surrounding Alex Bregman, we've had numerous meetings with teams and owners, and we all know what comes after AB. That is C, a champion. Sean Mapes is booing behind the glass.
Boo.
Look, he's just being on brand.
I guess. AB. When you had to clarify, C, which is for champion, and AB, which is for Alex Bregman, my client.
Well, it's as easy as ABC. You sign Alex Bregman, you're winning a championship.
Boom.
That's what he's trying to imply.
100% of the teams that have employed Alex Bregman in Major League Baseball have won a championship.
Hell, they've won too.
At some point of him on the roster.
That is true. Some of these teams that have employed Alex Bregman have won the American League West 7 out of 8 times and been to 7 straight American League Championship Series. Some of them.
Some have done that.
Mm-hmm. Scott Boras said this about his conversations with Dana Brown. Quote, Dana and I continue to talk, and we're making every attempt. Well, that's kind of promising. We know that Breggy plays really, really well there with a great group of teammates and a remarkable history that few teams enjoy. Ooh, Scott, giving us a little smack on the ass. We'll continue to talk about it. Okay. That's all we got. That's all that has happened in the last 24 hours. So Dana Brown ain't closing a door. Scott Boras isn't closing a door. Everything's good, right? That is where the bad vibes check in. It is time to bring back the bad vibes alert.
Bad vibes alert, man. Bad vibes alert, man.
So I think there is as much speculation attached to these reports as the reports are reports, if that makes any sense. I'm not really sure that this is... My computer keeps making noises. I'm not sure that this is Ken Rosenthal, Chandler Rome saying what's about to happen. But Ken Rosenthal said, while on the MLB Network, that Alex Bregman is likely to leave the Houston Astros and suggested that based on history, it's not just that the Astros won't pay Bregman. Kyle Tucker might not be paid either.
Difficult to predict what owner Jim Crane might want here. Now, if he wants to keep Tucker, he's going to have to pay him. And the Astros have not paid free agents big money under Crane's ownership. Remember, Springer left. Correa left. Bregman likely to leave. He's not staying, I don't believe, for what they're offering. They're going to have to come significantly up to keep Alex Bregman.
Does that qualify as a report? I don't think so. But I think most people are sitting back and are waiting for another team to swoop in. And it does seem like the Boston Red Sox, of all teams, have the biggest reason to potentially sign Alex Bregman. Alex Cora is their manager, and he's talking about how versatile Bregman is and is even considering moving him to second base. Whether that's good or bad, that's besides the point. The Red Sox clearly like him, and the Red Sox did not get Juan Soto.
Alex Cora is like, he's really flexible, too. I do mean in the Pilates way.
So Ken Rosenthal also had this to say about Kyle Tucker's future. And you're not going to like this answer when asked about what could happen to Kyle Tucker in the coming days, the longer it goes.
Given that history, given that Kyle Tucker has 1 year remaining before he is a free agent and hits the open market, if I were the Astros, I would strongly consider trading him. I would strongly consider trading Valdez. Now, it means, or it would mean in the short term, most likely, taking a step back. And it raises the question, too, of what kind of value you get because it's only 1 year. Look at the Yankees, for example. Tucker, of course, would appeal to them. He is a perfect replacement for Soto. He might not be the offensive player Soto is, but he's a better base runner, capable of stealing 30 bases, a much better defender, Gold Glove winner. But it's the same situation as it was with Soto. You're trading significant pieces for 1 year of Kyle Tucker, and then he might bolt on you. So it's a difficult move for them, and yet it will be something that I'm sure they discussed. I'm sure other teams discussed because Kyle Tucker is one of the most underrated players in the game and one of the best players in the game.
Is that a report or is that speculation? You got to ask that one more time because you do have to remember that generally National Baseball conversation focuses back on the New York Yankees at some point. It always goes back to that. So is Ken Rosenthal bringing up the Yankees because, hey, people will respond to this? This will actually get clicks online? Or is this something he thinks will happen? I have been looking, and the only person that has put out that the Yankees are maybe going after Kyle Tucker, I don't know that I can really say it's a report. It's coming from some guy who is followed by relevant online baseball accounts. Pat Brown 954. Does that make you feel good? Sean sighing. I'm sighing as well. Like, this is all we have off of this.
If you have three or more numbers in your Twitter account, I just dock a little points off.
I agree. He's got less than 1,000 followers, and he's not working at a radio station. That would be the only reason to have three numbers at the very end. But he said this: Yankees have sent their absolute highest offer for Astros outfielder Kyle Tucker. Cashman and company have offered the Astros outfielder Clint Frazier and infielder Miguel Andujar. Again, I don't know if I put any stock into that. I don't know if I put any stock into what Ken Rosenthal said. So let's go closer to home. Chandler Rome works for The Athletic along with Ken Rosenthal. Some people like him. Me, a lot of our listeners don't seem to. Whatever. I still like Chandler. I stand by that take. The man amuses me. Here is his bold prediction. Again, not a report about what could potentially happen for Kyle Tucker in the coming weeks.
A bold prediction is that Kyle Tucker is playing elsewhere in 2025 and that the Astros stun the baseball world and pull off a trade that I don't think anyone would have envisioned maybe before a month ago. But this is something that they have been considering. I've reported that General Manager Dana Brown is open to moving either Tucker or Framber Valdez. You know, Joe Espada, he would play with the roster he's given, but it would bring back the sort of prospect haul that could really help kind of revitalize this Astros farm system, and they need it. They don't have much coming. They don't have that next core of awaiting in the wings to help this championship contention. So my bold prediction is that Kyle Tucker is not an Astro in 2025.
It's predictions, it's speculations, but it's all bad vibes. That's what sucks right now as we continue to wait, not just to see what happens to Alex Bregman, but also if the Astros decide, you know what Chandler said makes a lot of sense. Let's bolster our farm system and get something for a guy who we might have already burnt the bridge with. If you're paying attention to things behind the scenes, or if you've just noticed the way that things went this past season for the Astros said Kyle Tucker didn't have a broken bone in his leg, and Kyle Tucker said he did. Do you think that disconnect might lend itself to both sides being mad at one another, or Kyle Tucker being mad at the Astros? I do, personally. So maybe Chandler is hearing something. And maybe there's more to this speculation. Maybe this smoke actually does eventually find its way to a small little fire that will lead to the Astros moving on from Kyle Tucker in the coming days, or perhaps letting Alex Bregman walk in the coming days. Whatever the case, everything we've heard in the last 24 hours sucks when it comes to the Astros keeping that championship window open. I want to keep that window open until the house collapses. I do not want to take a mini step back. I just don't want to. I get it. Big picture. If you're playing a video game in franchise mode and you're trying to expand the window or just have a little bit more fun and give yourself more of a challenge, it's fun to do that. It's not fun to watch it. Everyone seems to think that it is. No, you get the super sim in those things. You don't get to hear. And we all hated 2011 to 2014. I saw a couple of people commenting yesterday when I put this out there. Listen, window stays open until the house collapses, and then the window will still stay open. It'll just be a window around a collapsed
There'll
house.
be nothing there. Yeah.
Nothing there. Yes, exactly. It'll be a symbolic open window. A bunch of people said, "Well, actually, like those were the best times," and some of them had good points. The tickets were probably cheaper. The margaritas probably weren't $300. Some points understandable. Like you can actually take your family to a game, but do not try to tell me that 2011 to 2014 was entertaining in any way, shape, or form. It was a god awful blight upon our eyes.
Yeah, I have a controversial opinion that making the playoffs and making the ALCS every year is actually more fun than
Yes.
getting to go to the games for slightly cheaper.
Who would have thought? Unbelievable.
Because here's another thing. I don't think Jim Crane's taken it all the way down to 2011 prices.
I don't either.
I have a hard time believing that.
And it's due to inflation. Thanks, every single president since 2011. But also, yes, yeah. Jim Crane's tasted the money. He needs to build his Astro World around the ballpark. And with the I-45 eminent domain deal going on, I mean, he's going to have some opportunities. He wants your money. Is he going to use that money to sign Jose Abreu's, Rafael Montero's, Ryan Presley's, with a no trade clause, Lance McCullers Jr.'s? I don't know. I hope not. I hope not.
Why couldn't you said, is he going to use it to sign Kyle Tucker?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Why'd you bring up the bad ones that he did do, not the good ones that he won't do?
Well, because the bad vibes, man. It's the bad vibes. The bad vibes alert. Again, it's all bad vibes right now. All of them. We do have some comments here on Twitch at ESPN 975. Junior Bronco says, it cleanses the fan base. Sir, we don't want a holocaust on Astros fandom, okay? I would like people to actually care about this team. And I'm not just talking about like the diehards. Sorry, it's not that cool to be a hipster fan of a team that blows. It's not. Oh, I showed loyalty. Oh, cool. Congratulations. Everyone thought you were a loser while you were watching the bad team. No offense. Like, that's how it works. I do not subscribe to this idea that you need to be loyal to a bad product because your parents had sex in a random location. I never will. And I used to be very loyal to Boston teams. And then I realized, like, oh, wait, if ownership sucks, get out. They're a product. Why am I wasting my time on a bad product? Why would you do that?
And even if you do, like, I mean, we in the city, we have very recent examples for terrible rebuilds.
Yeah.
Or not just not terrible as in like they never recovered, but just in the moment.
Yes.
Like where people like, this is awesome that the Texans absolutely stink for 3 straight years.
Same with the Rockets, right?
Yeah, this is awesome. I love this.
We have recent examples of this. Like, you don't want to go back. Like, I want to delay going back as long as I possibly can, even if it ultimately does result in going back to where I was. Just delay it. Delay it as long as you can. I don't like that some people are trying to greenlight this. Don't. Some more comments. This is on YouTube. DJ Duke comments on our YouTube channel. It's a real report. Again, we'll see. I don't trust Pat Brown 954 because I don't know who he is. Sorry, that's not Pat Brown's fault. If he hits on a couple of these, then maybe he'll think differently. Mac comments, I hate all of this, every bit of it. Dana knows talent, but he definitely hasn't proven to be good at negotiating. Yeah, he hit on Kikuchi, but most would say he got robbed in negotiating for him. I wonder how hard they tried to keep Kikuchi. They should have tried to keep Kikuchi. Like I know they keep on talking about all the depth that they have in their pitching, but like four of those arms are dealing with some sort of dramatic surgery that they're trying to come back from, right? I mean, Christian Javier, Luis Garcia, Lance McCullers, and I guess Jose Urquidy if he comes back. I don't know what's going on that front. Like you have depth conceptually, but a lot of the depth is injured.
Yeah, we do this every year during the offseason with here's all the guys that'll come back in July.
Yeah.
And then they don't come back in
They
July.
don't come back at all.
Also, while you're trying to get to July, more guys get hurt. And now we have to learn Spencer Getty's name and learn Blair Henley's name and Jake Bloss's name. Like, there's just so many randos that get called up during the middle of the season, even while the Astros have all this so-called pitching depth. And now they're losing 2 starters off of last year's team if we assume Justin Verlander's also gone. So yes, they need another starter.
Adding to the bad vibes, by the way, and this is something that escaped me because I was so focused on the possibility of Tucker going to the Yankees as part of the bad vibes. More bad vibes, and this is from Ken Rosenthal and Chandler Rome. Kyle Tucker trade talks have begun between the Astros and Cubs. Oh, very interesting day for Joe to take off. He's just sitting back and thinking to himself, hey, my Cubs are about to be 83 and 79 next year. See, I do the math.
Oh, yeah, because we got Kyle Tucker aboard. I'm going to sit back and listen to Paul be miserable as my Cubs steal Kyle Tucker.
I don't know why he sounds evil, but
yeah. Did he turn into the Penguin or something?
Yeah. Preliminary Kyle Tucker trade talks involve Isaac Paredes and Seiya Suzuki. I have no idea who those two are. Again, I'm just going to be honest. Don't know who they are. They're not Kyle Tucker, so F them. That's what I say. F them. Nope.
I remember Isaac Paredes from the trade deadline where he was the Astros need to get this guy du jour of the I don't know, deadline last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah. Well, cool. Kyle Tucker's better, so no. It's a 1-year rental. I want a super haul in return for Kyle Tucker if you're trading him right now. Desert Stroh and James Espinoza both think that Dana might be handcuffed by Jim Crane. That's fair. Desert Stroh also says, I'd be fine with trading to the Cubs. Tucker will regret it. I will regret it. You will regret it. Stop. Like, it's not. This guy's not replaceable, even if he sucks in the playoffs. He's not replaceable. He'll regret it. No, I will regret it. I will regret the outfield of, like, now Jake Myers has to play every day. I don't want that. Sorry. Oh, Mauricio Dubon and Jake Myers. Woohoo! Chas McCormick. What an outfield. Like, no.
You're also getting Seiya Suzuki. Don't forget that.
Does he play outfield or is he even real? I don't know.
He's an outfielder.
Oh, well, okay, cool, man. It's not Ichiro Suzuki. Sorry.
No.
Wrong Suzuki. Bring him out of retirement. Yeah. Bad vibes. Bad vibes all around. So
Do you want to hear it one more time?
Fine.
Bad vibes alert, man. Bad vibes alert, man.
Junior Bronco says overpaying old free agents leads to the 2010-2013 type runs with Carlos Lee. Sure, but part of the last couple of years of the Carlos Lee run were also the Astros purposefully tanking. So there was that. That contract was bad, and Carlos Lee seemed to get bigger as the contract went further and further into the future. Hey, it happens. You get fat and happy, and you're on a bad franchise. What's the incentive to actually play well? I would totally mail it in. So there you go. Junior Broncos argues I would do an NCAA dynasty with Alabama. Again, it's different in the video game versus in real life. The video game franchise is fun. Trading for prospects in a video game is actually fun. Or getting rid of all your good players and trying to do your own rebuild in Madden or in the NCAA football game. It's fun. But you forget about the whole, hey, I can play this game and go through 4 years in about 2 months, where in this, you have to sit this out and wait it out. And all along the way, are you really telling yourself, yeah, I really enjoy this? Bull bleep. You're not doing that.
Yeah, I can speak from experience of building up the Rice Owls to win a national championship in 6 years
Yeah.
of video game world, but it was like 10 days of my real life, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can turn the program around so quickly. That's not how it works. And everyone thinks that they want to do it. And it's gonna cut out some of the non-fans. No, you want the non-fans there. Do you want to go to a mausoleum of a ballpark? And I get it. Some of the playoff series have felt like the mausoleum. That's another argument. Okay, that's another conversation. I don't want it to be empty.
Yeah.
I would like cheaper ticket prices for sure, but yeah, I don't want it to be empty.
I don't want to just be baseball fans. Give me some
Yeah.
bandwagon.
I want some casuals there who aren't
Yeah.
going to be watching the game, who are going to be looking at their phone the whole time. It might get hit in the face.
doing the wave.
Yeah.
Come on.
A little bit of a wave. I want to have that one Astros fan who went viral for talking to that girl with his arm around her,
Yeah.
where it looks like he's trying to explain to her how the Roman Empire really was the greatest empire of all time. Like, I want that. More moments like that. I do not want to go back to those days where the only time we're talking about Astros fans is because of that meme or because of that one fan who did not get in the way of his girlfriend on a foul ball. Just drilled her right in the face.
Yeah.
Or was it the chest? I don't know.
Yeah. But why'd that guy have to stick around?
Good question. Good question. I don't know.
I wish that guy hopped off the bandwagon 2012 or whenever that video was from.
Yeah, I mean, I would just like leave the city forever. You can't date anybody. If they see that, you're done. Like, you have no chivalry, sir. Here's the latest on the Astros at baseball's winter meetings. This is the most BS report I can remember, but this is how reporting goes these days. Mark Feinsand is an MLB.com senior national reporter and MLB Network insider. Wait, is he the insider or is he a senior national reporter? I can't say. He has two titles for the same company that he works for. Whatever. Here's what he reports. I say in quotation marks. There's a sense that Alex Bregman could be the next big free agent to sign. End quote. Are you serious?
There's a sense.
There's a sense
He could be.
that he might sign. It's such a low bar for reporting now. What does that even mean?
No, there's a sense that he could be the next big free agent. There's going to be some little ones, Paul.
Well,
There's gonna be
he's-
some little free agents signing.
And Joe's not here to defend little people, but he's a little person. Is he a big free agent? Subjective, but in terms of his ability
Stature in the league
on the
yes.
baseball field, stature in the league, right?
Yeah.
Not stature literally. The Astros, Red Sox, Yankees, and Tigers are among
I like
those
that.
in the mix.
That's my favorite part of the report is that there's a sense that he could be the next big free agent to sign. Again, like you said, doesn't mean a lot. Also, there's 4 teams in the mix.
There's 4 teams in the mix. The Astros are the first one listed.
Mm.
If you really want to read too much into this, note that
It's not alphabetical. Either.
it's not in alphabetical order because the Yankees are not last. So are the Astros in first, the Red Sox second, Yankees third, Tigers fourth.
What is Mark Feinstein trying to tell us?
It's a great question. Are the Tigers at the end of this going to say we were just thankful to be a part of this process? Probably.
Probably.
That's kind of how
Actually,
I feel.
we can't throw shots at the Tigers.
No, that's true. They
They
dust
didn't,
busted the Astros, which I predicted the Astros would do to the Tigers in that BS playoff round that I guess we can't even call a BS playoff round anymore.